focus tab. We'll do it again.
Okay, let's start the meeting. This is a regular assembly meeting, Petersburg Borough Assembly meeting. It is September 15th at 6 p.m. Will clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Jensen,
Here.
Vice Mayor Marsh,
Here.
Member Newman,
Here.
Member Schwartz,
Here.
Member Stanton Gregor,
Here.
Member Lynn,
Excused.
Member Valentine.
Excused.
Thank you.
Okay, with that roll call being done, it's now time, now time for the voluntary Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the regular assembly meeting September 2nd, 2025. I'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Member Stanton Gregor, seconded by Member Marsh. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, those were approved. Now it's time for the approval of the meeting minutes, meeting agenda presented to us tonight. If there are no amendments, are there any amendments proposed?
I would move to approve the meeting agenda as is. Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we will move forward. Okay, public hearings, there are none this evening. For some reason, I just lost the view of the room, but that shouldn't matter that much. Where was I? Okay, there are no public hearings, no bid awards. Are there any people that have views related to today's agenda that would like to participate? Clerk Becky, or is there anyone zooming in?
There is no one.
Okay. Item 8, persons to be heard on items unrelated to tonight's agenda. Is there any interest?
There's no one.
Okay, seeing none. There are no boards, commissions, and committee reports. Nothing on the consent agenda. That brings us to report of other officers. And the first item there is the mayor's report. It's all about the upcoming election on October 7th. Absentee voting information. Applications to request absentee ballots are available on the borough website or upstairs in the municipal building. Early voting information. Early voting will begin this Wednesday, September 17th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. downstairs near the main entrance to the municipal building. Early voting ends at noon on October 6th, the day before the election. Election Day, October 7th. Vote in person at the Parks and Recreation Activities Room at 500 North 3rd Street between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on Tuesday, October 7th. For more information on the election, go to the borough website, www.petersburgaka.gov, and click on the orange banner at the top of the screen. A sample ballot is attached to this report. And that's it for the mayor's report. And I'll turn it over to Manager Giesbrecht for his report.
Thank you, sir. Last of the tourship season is September 22nd. Thanks for another good year. We are still seeing some transient vessels heading south, stopping in for weather, et cetera. The harbor has approximately a dozen vessels wanting to winter over in Petersburg, so staff is actively monitoring permanent stallholder schedules to sublet stalls that are empty during winter months. Outlying lodge operations are coming through the harbor to store their vessels and winter over equipment. And harbor maintenance is finalizing much of the seasonal upkeep and preparing for winter weather. Rock and Road moved the Scow Bay generator from AML to the pole yard on September 5th. Power and Light is working with available contractors to source the construction of the permanent generator pad so that the unit can be lifted onto the pad and protected for the winter. A temporary shelter is on order to keep the generator warm and dry over the course of the winter. Power and Light recently brought an Altec mechanic to Petersburg to complete annual electrical insulation testing on the line trucks and our high voltage line tools. Power and Light staff has been implementing the iWork software that Public Works has used for many years. The utility is now using a module to track our inventory and is working on developing software-based work orders and inspection reporting. Carl's out on PTO from September 10th through the 24th for his son's wedding. So wish him luck when you see him. Replaced a culvert in the fish stream near Sandy Beach Shelter at the request of and oversight from ADF&G. We are still waiting in Public Works on a word from NC Machinery regarding transmission repairs on our grader. As a warning, folks, garbage barrels are still active, and we are continuing our public education campaign to encourage folks to keep garbage secured as required by Borough Code. We also have bear straps for garbage cans at Public Works. These are available to sanitation customers free upon request. We are ordering steel doors for the large dumpster at the elementary school. Bears have resorted to ripping off the locked plastic doors to gain access. Traffic at the baling facility continues to be high, with lots of garbage being generated by various construction projects. We're having some issues with the jail cell water flow valves, and we're looking at that. And Apex Refrigeration will be replacing the HVAC condensers on the municipal building before the end of September. An outhouse door has been replaced at the Wilson Creek Campground, along with 3 outhouse windows at Wilson Creek and Greens Camp. Devise Engineering will conduct the required dam inspection on September 16th and 17th. And work continues on the Pump Station 4 and Force Main Upgrade project. Foundation for the new building is nearly complete. Matting Electric is set to begin running conduit for the new building, and the force main has been pressure tested and buried. Aaron and Liz will be attending the Southeast Conference in Sitka from September 15th through the 19th. And we are working on moving several residents out of assisted living who require more care than we could provide. Working on 2 apartments in assisted living now that the carpet is in so we can rent them out. And our financial auditors were here in the office most of last week. Parks and Rec dive-in movie nights will resume in October. These family events are now scheduled for Saturday nights. Check our fall aquatic and gym schedules and flyers for more information. And we hosted our pre-bid meeting with engineers and contractors for the aquatic sewer line repair slated for June 2026 start date. And the last is Greg Johnson has pulled his interest in the Lake Street development, and we will go through the steps to see if Mr. Mazzella is still interested. And that's it on my report.
Okay, thank you, Manager Giesbrecht. Are there any questions?
If I may, Mr. Mayor.
Member Stanton Gregor.
Thank you, sir. Steve, just on that Lake Street development, I didn't check my email today and to see the latest developments on that, but the last I'd heard, it was, he seemed very interested. Again, if you wouldn't mind, I know people in the community were paying attention to that issue. Kind of walk us through how that played out, if that's all right.
Sure. We hadn't heard from him for a while, so I sent him an email saying, are you still interested? Becky actually followed up with a phone call and got him. He came in and picked up the contract, basically told us, he thought he was interested. Then Friday, his wife brought in a letter to me saying they're not interested. So I'm going to take that in writing is the final answer from him. And at this point, we can move on with somebody else if they're interested.
Thank you for the clarification. Appreciate it.
Okay, any other questions of the manager? I see none. So thank you, Manager Giesbrecht. That brings us to item 14, unfinished business. First item is ordinance 2025-13, an ordinance of the Petersburg Borough adjusting the fiscal year 2026 budget for known changes. This is the 3rd and final reading. I'd entertain a motion to approve this ordinance in its 3rd reading.
So move.
Second.
Motion been made by Member Marsh, seconded by Member Stanton Gregor. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Member Newman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Marsh,
Yes.
Member Stanton Gregor,
Yes.
Mayor Jensen,
Yes.
Member Schwartz,
Yes.
Okay, if that ordinance passes in its 3rd and final reading, that brings us to a resolution. This is a resolution urging immediate action for effective sea otter management to restore Southeast Alaska's shellfish, commercial fisheries, and subsistence harvests. This was postponed from the August 4th, 2025 Assembly meeting to this meeting. And so it's just on the floor. as explained to me by the clerk. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Member Marsh.
Thank you. I would declare a conflict of interest here because my husband has been a commercial crabber for over 40 years, and I myself used to hold a permit myself, and so therefore it would stand that there might be some financial interest at stake. So I guess it's up to the will of the assembly if they want me to participate in the discussion and voting.
Any input from assembly members?
Sure, Mr. Mayor, I'll chime in if I might.
Sure, Member Stanton Greger.
Just for the record, thank you, Member Marsh, for that disclosure. And given that disclosure, I have no problems with you voting on this on this resolution. I do not think your declared potential conflict of interest should bar you from voting on this. Thanks.
Okay, so I guess that would take a vote of the assembly to allow Vice Mayor Marsh to vote. So will the clerk please do a roll call on this, on the four, myself and the three assembly members?
Yes. Member Stanton Greger?
To clarify, a yes means I think Member Marsh should be allowed to vote.
Correct.
Yes.
That's the way I understand it.
Mayor Jensen?
Yes.
Member Schwartz?
Yes.
Member Newman?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and I also would like to offer to recuse myself since I hold a commercial Dungeness permit, and one of the whereases in this resolution is actually asking for government, financial aid at some point. That's a potential. So I guess we're in the same situation. I offer to recuse myself.
So with that, then the remaining assembly members will vote on whether or not you are welcome to participate in the vote?
Correct, just like with your recusal.
Fair enough.
So will the clerk call the roll on that? And the yes answer is that I can vote.
Vice Mayor Marsh?
Yes.
Member Newman?
Yes.
Member Stanton Greger?
Yes.
Member Schwartz?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we will move forward. In this resolution, I'm not going to read it, but it is in our packet. And I believe other communities are putting a mirror resolution forward as well. So any discussion?
Yes, I do.
Member Marsh.
Thank you. So several points. Towards the end of this resolution, the second to the last paragraph is, be it further resolved that the Assembly affirms strong support for the efforts of the Shellfish Preservation Alliance and similar organizations advocating for ecological balance, sustainable resource use, and economic revitalization. Their Shellfish Preservation Alliance was an organization formed in 2017, according to what I found online, that is no longer in existence. So I would also like to strike that paragraph entirely, but it also says similar organizations. So a quick Google search on similar organizations, and I'm going to use that in air quotes, you find international organizations more than state central organizations. So because that is too broad of a blanket statement, I think that would really curtail our options if we kept that paragraph in there. I would like to strike that entirely as an amendment to this motion. And then I also have an inclusion on a second amendment to the motion.
Okay, shall we do the first amendment as well to strike that, be it further resolved, and need a motion and a second?
Okay, yes, I move to strike.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I would propose a motion to strike the paragraph that contains reference to the Shellfish Preservation Alliance and similar organizations.
Okay, motion's been made by Member Marsh, seconded by Member Newman. Any discussion on this amendment to the resolution?
Yes, please, Mr. Mayor.
Member Stanton Greger.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, if Member Marsh is comfortable with it, I think you just used the language that it felt a little too broad. Some of the language, if you wouldn't mind elaborating on that, because myself, when I read that, okay, Shellfish Preservation Alliance, they're out, and similar organizations are advocating for those things. It doesn't feel too broad to me at this point, but I'm open to hearing you out on it if you could elaborate on it.
Yes, through the mayor. So the other similar organizations that my Google search led me to were Coalition for International, I don't even recall the whole thing. But like I say, to me, if we are going to look at something that affects Alaska and Southeast Alaska specifically, something that puts a blanket over international agreements or regulations, I think is too broad of stroke to help us specifically in our area of lack of management in the sea otter population. That was my rationale there.
Understood, thank you.
Any other discussion on this amendment? Clerk, please call the roll. And a yes vote would strike that, be it further resolved.
Member Schwartz,
Yes.
Member Stanton Greger,
Yes.
Member Newman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Marsh,
Yes.
Mayor Jensen.
Yes. Okay, moving forward with this resolution, and the number is 2025-17. Is there any other discussion?
Yes.
Member Marsh.
Thank you. I would propose a motion to amend this resolution to include that sea otters may be taken by any Alaskan resident with a valid hunting or hunting license.
Is there a second? Hearing no second, that,
See, Mr. Mayor, Member Marsh, could you repeat that? I missed
Yes.
part of that. I just want to make sure I'm clear. Thank you.
I would like to amend this motion, or this resolution, to include that sea otters may be taken by any Alaskan resident, meaning it doesn't have to be specific to Alaskan Native residents.
Got it, thanks.
Any Alaskan resident with a valid hunting license.
if you look, Member Marsh, if you look under the, first now, therefore be it resolved, they strongly urge immediate action by the federal and state authorities in collaboration with Alaska Native and non-native stakeholders to establish and expedite a comprehensive plan. Well, I guess that adds language to that they could take them if they have the proper training and licenses. Correct?
I actually disagree with that because very often the stakeholders seem to be those who administer the program. For example, Fish and Game, et cetera, and other organizations where it still would be restrictive. Now, granted, there would have to be some new regulations perhaps on what to do with the harvested animals. Presently, I believe Alaska Natives have to actually make a craft out of the furs.
Just point of order. Can we have a second before we get into the discussion part?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, carry on, Member Marsh.
Yeah, thank you. So that's my reason for clarifying that it would include Alaskan residents with a valid hunting license. I also spoke with Scott Jackson of Cake today, who has been running a tannery over in Cake, and there was an article in the Petersburg Pilot fairly recently regarding his tannery that he's not processing furs very much anymore. And he said it was just simply growing too fast. There were some health issues and some missteps in the processing that led to some spoilage of some of the hides. He did indicate that if people in Petersburg were interested in starting a tannery, he would be happy to contribute his knowledge. So with that option as a potential place for a tannery, another tannery located here in Petersburg and more people being allowed to harvest them, we might be able to generate some interest in the sea otter furs.
Okay, any other discussion?
Yes, please, Mr. Mayor.
Member Stanton Greger.
Thank you, sir. I can't vote for that amendment. I'm definitely in favor of this resolution. I think action is needed on a variety of levels involving the CADR population. But as far as I can tell, this resolution, if we include that amendment, would be in violation of federal law from the Marine Mammal Protection Act. And Alaska Natives are, of course, exempt from that. And I don't think it's wise to advocate put that language in there. I think if you want to change that, it'd be done through advocating through the federal delegation, not through use of this resolution. So I'll not be voting yes on this amendment.
Any other discussion? If none, clerk call the roll on this proposed amendment.
Member Stanton Greger,
No.
Member Newman,
Yes.
Member Schwartz,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Marsh,
Yes.
Mayor Jensen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that amendment passes to add that language, whether it is in a form of a be it further resolved. So that brings us to the main motion as amended. Is there any discussion on the main motion as it is amended?
Yes, please, Mr. Mayor.
Member Stanton Greger.
Yep, I want to be clear and on the record that I will be voting no on this resolution that I was previously in favor of because of the language included that is advocating for, that we are advocating to be in violation of federal law. And I think it was, I can no longer vote for this resolution. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for your explanation. Is there any other discussion?
Yes.
Member Marsh or Vice Mayor?
And that would be that very often, well, I don't know very often, it allows the Petersburg Borough Assembly to send a message up the chain that this is what we feel needs to happen, rather than waiting for the federal delegation to do their magic, which is incredibly slow, or can be incredibly slow. So I think this amendment would send a clear statement that, yes, we really feel strongly that we need to do more than what is being done, which is actually nothing. Okay, very little. Natives are taking the hides. Scott said in his experience, he's seeing that about 100 a month are being taken. And that's not very much at the rate they are multiplying.
Okay, any other discussion?
Mayor Jensen, it looks like Rob has his hand up. Member Schwartz.
Member Schwartz.
Yeah, I crabbed commercially for 35 years, and one of the reasons I got out is because of the we've seen this over the decades, the exponential increase in the population of the sea otters. I've talked to a lot of crabbers in Petersburg, throughout Southeast, also in Wrangell. There was supposed to be an environmental impact study and an economic impact study every 2 years after they were reintroduced. And I think there was one in the late 60s, excuse me, and that's it. And talking to Randy Easterly in Wrangell, he went back to Washington years ago on this, same topic here. So they have not followed through with an environmental or economic impact studies. And the marine biologist that had been involved the longest, I can't remember his name, said that this is 7 or 8 years ago. He said that population's over 80,000. So that's my input.
Okay, thank you. Can we take a brief pause here? I need to start my generator. My alarm is going off, so I will be right back. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. Is there any other discussion on this resolution?
Yeah. I'd like to say something.
Yeah, I can't. Okay, the screen is back up. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the sea otters are protected under the Marine Mammal Protection Act of 1972. And well, I think the intent of the law was to protect, the sea otters in addition to many other marine mammals. I think that the intent has fulfilled its goal, and now the sea otter population is causing way more ecological harm than the benefit to the population that was, deemed necessary. So it's not just affecting the ecosystem, it's affecting the human population and our ability to provide for ourselves. And so this is a case where the law has kind of reached a negative benefit, let's say. So I will be voting in support of this and in support of commercial fishermen.
Yeah, I've been having this discussion or we have, and me personally been having this discussion about the sea otter population for decades. And whether it's too late, it's gonna take a long time to rebuild any shellfish stocks. But it's time to send a message that it's really having an effect on subsistence users, personal use people, and as well as the commercial fishing industry. So I will be supporting this resolution. Is there any other discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Marsh,
Yes.
Member Schwartz,
Yes.
Mayor Jensen,
Yes.
Member Stanton Greger,
Nope.
Member Newman,
Yes.
Okay, the resolution passes with a 4-1 vote, with member Stanton Greger opposed. There are no items under new business. Are there any, I don't see any communications listed. Is there any discussion items from assembly members? Seeing none. Any recognitions? Seeing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Have a good evening.
Two.
Luck.